Hello, my friends. How you doing? Let's take a look at the PMP exam content outline. Now, I've heard from a lot of students that this content outline gives them quite a lot of confusion when they look at it. So I want to break it down for you and possibly map these tasks to the Pembok guide and other content, or maybe just give you a little bit more insight on it. All right. So we got the people, process, business, 42% people, 50% process, and business environment 8%. Now, a lot of people get sidetracked into looking only at the Pembok guide. When you want to take a look at the people piece, you need to take a look at both the Pembok guide and the Agile Practice Guide. Okay, you need to take a look at both the Pembok guide and the Agile Practice Guide for every one of these. Okay, and there are some areas that you will not find clearly explained in the Pembok guide. So let's try to do this very rapidly. Let's go straight to the people piece. And I'm just going to call them out. I want you to go back, write them down as I'm speaking right now. How about you print out the content outline and jot down notes about what I'm saying? It's going to help you better absorb the information. All right. So we're going to go page by page. Are you ready? Let's talk about people. So manage conflict. This is your 4 point, I beg your pardon. No, this is your 9.5 predominantly. 9.5 is manage team, right? And in manage team, this is where to some degree you manage conflict. But this is not the only process where you manage conflict. You even find the discussion about managing conflict earlier on in the project. So all I'm going to do is give you a high-level reference for each one of these, okay? So 9.5, let's change that color. 9.5, manage team is where you have managed conflict. 9.5 is where you also are really leading a team. Now, there are some tasks that you will not find in 9.5, or enablers, I should say. For example, this enabler, determine an appropriate leadership style. You will not find that to the degree I would like in the Pembok guide. You find mention made about being directing in your leadership, but you do not have the Hersey Blanchard model where you have the directing style, the coaching style, the supporting style, and the delegating style. You do not have this in the Pembok guide, so you gotta have some other reference material. Hopefully your instructor is going to be able to direct you in the right direction. Support team performance, again, this is 9.5, but you find in the Agile Practice Guide how this is done in the world of Agile. Remember, it's a self-organizing team, so your job as a servant leader is to empower the team and support them all the way. Empower team members and stakeholders is a combination of 9.5 and 13.3. Ensure team members and stakeholders are adequately trained. That is develop team. Of course, in the Agile Practice Guide, you find other reference material for that. Build a team is 9.4 because that's where you have developed team again. All right, let's move on to the next page. Address and remove obstacles and blockers for the team. This could be a variety of processes, but you got to remember 9.5 is manage team. Remember that 4.3 is direct and manage project work, where you understand issues and log them. In the world of Agile, though, we do not log impediments, they just get resolved. Now, I know there's fancy software to do that, But for your exam study, you want to focus on what is in the Agile Practice Guide and the Pmbok Guide. That's my advice. Negotiate project agreements. This is more of 12.2. And you also want to think about 9.3, where you acquire team. Collaborate with stakeholders. This is, of course, 13.3, where you have managed stakeholder engagement. We could look at many other opportunities for this because we collaborate with stakeholders in many different knowledge areas, such as risk, procurement, all over. But the go-to place where you think about this first is 13.3. Build a shared understanding is anywhere from 4.1 and 4.4. Uh, Develop project charter and manage project knowledge. Again, in the world of Agile, this works differently. Engage and support virtual teams. This is talked about in 9.4 and 9.5. All right. Develop team and manage team. Define ground rules is 9.1 predominantly. We also use ground rules as a tool and technique in 13.3. It's as a tool and technique, so pay attention to that. All right, let's go on to our final page for this one. And we'll have to do a different session where we look at the other domains. But for this, mentor relevant stakeholders, this is an opportunity in 9.4. You also have 13.3 where you engage in them. And these could be vehicles where you identify this person needs some mentoring. This person needs to know more about this approach we're using. Task 14, promote team performance through EI. You got to think about 9.5. You got to think about 9.4. And also, you need to think about acquire resources, right? Acquire resources. You also need to look at people's ability to fit in with the team and things such as that. So, honestly, all throughout 9.3, 9.4, 9.5, based on what you want the team members to do, that dialogue is going to keep coming back. All right. But at the end of the day, don't get so obsessed with mapping this outline to the Pembok guide. Instead, after a point, you're going to have to organically think about each one of these, and you're going to have to be able to switch between predictive thoughts, agile thoughts, and hybrid thoughts. And one of our students who passed the exam recently said, it will be very clear whether you are being asked an agile, hybrid, or predictive question. So keep that in mind. All right. I hope this helps you. Just remember, cover all your bases. Bye for now.